somebody could listen to you. Similar, it has propagation method like a wave spreading on the surface of the lake. And this chemical goes on and find out key lock method, receptors, and then it acts upon it. However, this endocrine system is very effective and also multiple. Multiple means it goes to hit so many places and could hit alpha receptors, beta receptors, both. So sometimes hit only alpha. So that really makes much, I would say, complicated than nervous system. And there's a third way we communicate in our body is local and topical method. And this is we call paracrine system. It wasn't that much I learned when I was in medical school, but now, after 50 years later, you are going to learn so many different chemicals. Prostaglandin, cytokines, lymphokines, and neurochemicals at the synapses of your brain. And these are the three: acetylcholine, dopamine, and norepinephrine, also other chemicals. So today's lecture has a lot of biochemistry. Now, biochemistry makes very major part of your basic medical knowledge. Anatomy, of course. Physiology, yes. However, biochemistry, it's all the medicines, right? Pharmacology is also biochemistry, act upon your body. So you can see your lecture today will not have many pictures, but will have a lot of chemical names. So chemical names is part of terminology. So you can see. So next, now endocrine system has a feedback, I told you. Feedback has two kinds of feedbacks: negative feedback and positive feedback. So positive feedback means do it more, tell you to this upper level. And negative feedback is please don't do it. You release some substances, but telling upper part don't do it. So by having these two, positive and negative feedback, and mainly there are more positive feedback, but there are some negative feedback as well. So now you can see a lot of acronyms. So when you learn acronyms, you will know what the real word behind it, and then you keep your acronyms in your memory. Is much easier to write, much easier to say. But you've got to know what that means. So we have mainly one of the important system is we call axis control. What does axis control means? We call it HPA axis. H means hypothalamic, P means pituitary, and A means adrenal cortex. So HPA axis is sort of mainly, good part, major part, more than half of the endocrine system. So when you look at the anatomy of the brain, there is bottom, in the middle, there is thalamus, little below we call hypothalamus, and then extended down to little extension like a nipple, we call it pituitary gland. The pituitary gland still is part of the brain, but the reason is there that pituitary is called master gland. Why master? Because it releases many different kind of hormone. This hormone controls secondary gland. So gland listen to pituitary gland. So pituitary gland is like a master. It's like captain of the ship, or like a pilot of the airplane. So this captain releases many different kind of hormones. We call ACTH. That stimulates adrenal gland. The outer part we call cortex, so we call it adrenal cortex. And adrenal cortex listen to the order, high order, and then it produces steroids. We're going to learn more steroid. And also pituitary gland produces TSH, telling to thyroid gland, here, down there. You can feel the thyroid gland, yours, but it's so soft. It's hardly feel unless some patient has nodules or some patient has a big enlarged thyroid. And thyroid gland produces T3, T4, or thyroid hormones. T4 is the major thyroxines. And also, pituitary gland produces FSH, LH, and this one tells different time to ovary. Produces this one, estrogens, produces progesterones. It tells you. So that females ovary listen to the upper gland, pituitary gland, produces different kind of hormones. So that's why the female, they are menstruate or pregnant, depending upon the hormones and situations. So I have given you this word, ACTH, TSH, FSH, LH. So these are the kind of word I want you to understand. And I want to ask the Itaewon, have you heard this word before? ACTH, TSH?
Yes, I think.
Oh, you heard it? Okay, great. What about Sono? Have you heard it? No? Okay. So, some of you have, some of you didn't. So now you heard it. Okay. So, you are going to learn what ACTH stands for. Adrenal cortex stimulating tropic hormone. ACTH, right. And TSH means thyroid gland stimulating hormone. FSH, follicular stimulating hormone. Luteinizing hormone. So that is different. So you will find out what the real name is, the acronym is. So these are the hormones. Why do we use acronyms for the hormone? Well, as you can see, it's really long. So that's the reason. It's too long to say all in one word. And also, as I told you, hormones have multiple functions in different parts. Depending upon the receptor, alpha receptor, beta receptor, H1 receptor, H2 receptor, they are in the bronchus and heart and stomach. So you can see hormone is released, act upon the body, not whole body all same. That there are certain part of the body has receptor. So key comes in, opens up, and then you act upon. So that's what you're gonna get there. All right. So I'm glad somebody listened and signed up. Now I should insert here what exocrine means. Exo means outside. Endo means inside. So endocrine, the hormone is released in your blood system. So that's what I call it, endocrine. But exocrine means not into the blood, but into your body, but mainly outside. What do you mean outside? Well, saliva, chin. it comes out into the mouth. So from our body's point of view, it's outside. Stomach produces juices. Is it inside? Yes. The outside? Yes. It's outside. So exocrine gland, it brings out different substances. Saliva, without it, tastes not good. And when you chew, it tastes sweeter. So that is saliva, does it? Stomach produces gastric digestive enzymes and also hydrochloric acid. And pancreas, it produces pancreatic digestive enzymes to digest carbohydrate, mainly proteins, and lipids as well. Bile, that is produced from the liver down to the gallbladder, and then when you eat, gallbladder squeezes, and that bile comes out into the small intestine, around the duodenum area, then that helps digest fat. Intestine produces many digestive juices and enzymes to digest fat, proteins, and carbohydrate. Sweat, it's one of the exocrine. And tear, when you feel sad, and tear also sort of exocrine. What about runny nose and mucus in the nose? Yeah, that's also part of the exocrines. So exocrine, it just sort of gives you a name, and of course we will learn more about it, and you will hear quite a bit about exocrines as well. But again, endocrine is more complicated, more detailed, more sophisticated, you may say. Okay. And I think I will do 5 more minutes and we'll have a break. Let's say, yeah, now we're going endocrine hormone 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me go on slowly and try to pronounce it so that you get familiar with their names. So when you hear second time and third time, you would know. So let me start with pituitary gland. The pituitary gland, as I said, master gland, and has different name also, hypophysis. So some people call it hypophysis, some people call it pituitary, but I think the pituitary is more common. But what we learned later, actually this is later, pituitary gland was not the highest master. There's no highest master in the world. It's all interrelated. So we thought pituitary gland is master gland, but it's controlled by more higher, mainly by nerve. So that is located in hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. What is the red spot? Here we go. Yeah. Hypothalamus. So hypothalamus produces tropins, or releasing hormones. So hypothalamus releases something and it goes into the anterior lobe or pituitary gland. And that produces different hormones. So I put the red, and here's black though. The anterior lobe produces growth hormone, ACTH, FSH, LH. So these I told you already. And prolactin, it's another hormone. It produces breast milk. So that is important for the mom to get pregnant and has to have milk. And then during the pregnancies, and the breast develops and produces ready to go for the baby come crying. So prolactin is important for the pregnant woman and baby. And there is posterior lobe. The anterior lobe that we call gland, the anterior lobe. Posterior lobe is The anterior lobe is called adrenal part. The posterior lobe we call neural part, posterior lobe. The posterior lobe produces mainly ADH and oxytocin. Oxytocin, ADH means antidiuretic hormone. It helps you produce different amount of urine. So when you drink a lot, what happens? Antidiuretic hormone produces less, so that you go to bathroom a lot. If you don't drink, you're having problem in the desert, you don't drink, no water, then antidiuretic hormone produces a lot. So antidiuresis means going a lot, bathroom a lot. So antidiuretic hormone is important to adjust the amount of urine you produce in the kidney. So antidiuretic hormone is telling to the kidney. So these days, we make this hormone, ADH. So when a child going to bedwetting a lot, 오줌 싸기, then doctor put the spray ADH into the nose at night, and then what happens? ADH tells the boy, the child, the kidney, hey, produce less, so that don't have to go pee-pee a lot at night. So ADH is actually medicine, because we are able to make it. But anyhow, this is not actually lecture of pediatrics, but ADH and oxytocin is also called a pitocin. It's important for the constriction of uterus, oxytocin. So when baby is out, your uterus has to contract, so they stop bleeding. And also, when baby is not coming out, when they are ready, what happens? The doctor infuses this pitocin into the mother's vein. And then pitocin goes into the uterus, start contractions, so that baby will come out. So pitocin is labor-inducing medicine, is being used. So pitocin, in clinical medicine called pitocin, but real name is oxytocin. So these are, and then intermediate lobe, we produce melanocyte stimulating hormone, MSH. So you can see so many hormones being produced in pituitary gland. The master gland does a lot of job. It's part of your brain. So I also have to say pineal gland is melatonin. It produces melatonin. Whereas pineal gland is in your picture in the book. But I found out your picture is a little bit wrong, so look at other book. The pineal gland is just a little bit behind. So when you look at the textbook, let's say, really small keys in here. Here we go. Page 543, 543페이지. When you look at it, there is a 솔방울샘, 543페이지. 솔방울샘에 거기 그 가운데 이렇게 표시가 있는데 그게 아니고 조금 뒤에 거예요. 조금 뒤에. 그 뒤에 또 동그란 게 하나 있죠? 동그란 게. 그게 피니얼 글랜드예요. 제가 우리 선생님이 쓰신 것도 그게 틀렸구나 하는 걸 발견했습니다. Okay. So that's pineal gland produces melatonin. Have you heard about melatonin? Sono? Have you heard about melatonin? Heard about it? Right. It is being sold. They sell it without prescription. We think melatonin is something to do with night and day sleep patterns. So when you fly from Incheon to Los Angeles, you get day and night mixed up. There's a 12 hours, 13 hours differences. So when I go to Los Angeles, I get sleepy. Daytime. Nighttime, I'm awake. So some people take melatonin to help the adjustment better. So melatonin is something to do with day and night sleep patterns. So that's the hormone. So I think we'll have a break, 10 minutes break, and then we'll begin from other slide. Thank you.